Well, after more than a year of sharing personal stories and experiences, our series, Vietnam Reflections, 50 Years of Healing, is coming to a close.
And tonight we're hearing from Christopher Camus, who served in Vietnam in 1971 as a member of the United States Marine Corps.
So I went to looking to find a branch that would give me the ability to fly. My eyes were bad, none of them would let me fly. So then I went to the branches to find a 2-year enlistment because I knew I was going to be drafted in October of 1970. And nobody would give me a 2-year enlistment. So all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, the Marine Corps recruiter calls me back and tells me, "Such a deal I have for you." That was my goal, to go to Vietnam, to get out of the service in 18 months, go back to college and be an English teacher. We got there in January of 71. In May of 71, they decided all the Marines had to be out of country by July 1, 71. My lieutenant and I had a good arrangement. He told me I could stay as an advisor, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a grunt, not a supply clerk. Supply clerk was a pretty good deal because we had a platoon of dog handlers with us, and I'd go out and resupply them like once or twice a week. One night, rockets, or at least more than one rocket, hit like less than 50 yards from my hooch, and but by the grace of God, we didn't get hurt. We get rockets a couple of times a week. We get zappers once every other week. So anybody can get killed. I mean, you can see now with the amount of people that came back, how many people were exposed to Agent Orange, how many people were exposed to the burning of the in the pits for the toilets, and are all infected with different kinds of disease. And it's what war is. It was like a week before my whole unit was going to get on what you called earlier a boat, an LST, and come back, and I was going to stay, and the lieutenant came to me and he said, no Marines can be in country. And I said, well, attach me to the CIA, I'll stay. And he said, no, Camus, you're going home. And there's no room for you on the boat, you got to fly back. So that really broke my heart. I'm extremely proud that I was honored to be the executive committee chairman for the Moving Wall. I met some fantastic people. This community was a fantastic supporter, both financially and with their labor, and with stepping up to the plate. Just absolutely fantastic. I learned some stories that I think, and that's why I'm here to tell some stories that people I think need to have told, but they won't come forward. There's one neighborhood on the south side that 3 young men who are on the wall behind me lived in. And it's the same neighborhood that my wife grew up in. And those 3 men died in a 15-month period. And one of those young men is right in that cabinet. He won a Silver Star. He was a Navy corpsman, saved a bunch of Marines. He probably should have got the Medal of Honor. I'm not an emotional person. I've been more emotional in the last Moving Wall than I've been in my whole life. But I really think we've helped some people come to grips, come to whatever.
And we'd like to thank Mr. Camus for his service and also say welcome home.
And one thing he wanted us to share is to remember those who are continuing to serve our country right now. And he says one way you can do that is by wearing red on Fridays, which means remember everyone deployed.